Hey TJ, have you ever heard of the MAO formula? Have you ever heard of this formula where you essentially take the ARV, you minus the cost of the repairs, then you deduct your profit, and that is what your offered price would be to the seller? Yes, I've heard all about the MAO formula, and the MAO formula may benefit you, but it also may not benefit you. And that's what today's video is going to be about, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, if you're interested in knowing what you should do to come up with your offer price to that seller, then definitely you want to stay tuned. All right, so you guys made it on back, and I'm so glad that you did, because it's going to be able to add a ton of value today. If you find yourself ever being hung up on not really understanding or knowing what you should be offering to the seller in order for it to make sense for the seller and of course for yourself and your end buyer to make a sustainable profit. But before we go ahead and dive into today's topic, who am I? My name is TJ Hines. I'm a full-time real estate investor for the past 10 years. Started out wholesaling houses. We've done hundreds of wholesale transactions in 3 different markets. And from there, we went on to fix and flip a ton of properties from distress to retail, exactly 123 properties from roughly 2015 to 2019. And coming into 2020, I had my biggest opportunity in real estate, which was me participating in a 200 unit apartment syndication, which I'm a glad, proud equity owner in. And so today I'm here to share with you guys, of course, what's going on with this MAO offer and how it can potentially hurt you more than help you. Go ahead and click that subscribe bell button, because we want to make sure that we notify you of all the exclusive content when it comes to wholesaling real estate. That way you can get out there and crush it in your backyard. Okay, so what is a max allowable offer? And this is really good that we set the tone for those who are really not sure what the max allowable offer formula is before we talk about whether it's helpful for you or is it hurting you more so than helping you, okay? So the max allowable offer formula is a formula that we would essentially use to determine what our offer price would be to the seller. And that formula is as such. If we know that a property's value after repair value, meaning that the property needs no upgrades at all, is worth $250,000, then we're going to take 70% of that value. Now, once we have 70% of that value of $250,000, and I'm not a brainiac in math, so I don't know what that number would be, but if you had a calculator, then you can go along with this, okay? So if you take 70% of that $250,000, you're going to come out with that specific number, okay? What is that number? Now, once you come out with that number, you are going to minus the cost of repairs that you would need to put into the property in order for you to realize that after repair value that you've taken 70% from. You also have to deduct what your desired profit is. So if your desired profit is 10, 15, 20,000, then you will also deduct 20,000 from that. Now you come to your baseline number, and that number would be the number that you would offer to the seller. Okay, this would actually now represent the investor making 30% in profit. And of course, you already have your profit built in. The second thing that most wholesalers don't take into account when they're using the MAO formula is inflation, ladies and gentlemen. And that will essentially change the percentages of what you should be offering to as well, depending on where we're at in the marketplace, right? So this formula may have been created in a down market. We are in an up market right now where there's lack of inventory, which means profit margins are going to be a little thinner, which means you have less room for error as an investor to make. So investors are going to take that into consideration as well, are going to want more meat on the bone to hedge their losses when they're getting into an investment. So that's another reason why the MAO formula won't work. You see that rents are exponentially high right now in all metropolitan areas. Rents are through the roof, and that is due to inflation, ladies and gentlemen. And guess what? Materials, the cost to build, guess what, have gone through the roof as well. So that 70% okay, does not necessarily work for every deal in every market, considering where we are in the market cycle, which is a very bullish cycle. That is another mistake that most wholesalers make. Third and last mistake that most noob wholesalers make when they're utilizing that MAO formula for every deal is they're still not sure how to determine what the ARV is. And if you remember the MAO formula, the ARV is a part of that formula, understanding what the true accurate value needs to be once you put sweat equity into the property. What does that now retail value look like? And if you can determine what the real actual value should look like once you put repairs and money into the property, then that formula is not useful for you. It is actually useless. And so determining the best way that you should offer on the property, again, ladies and gentlemen, is running comparables on property that are similar like kind within a quarter mile away in the past 6 months, plus or minus 200 square feet of what your property is, okay? So guys, if this video has added any value to your business today, do me a favor, do yourselves a favor, make sure that you like the video, you comment on the video, because I always want to know what you're thinking, what your thoughts are, because it helps me go back into the lab to curate the best content so I can dish it out to you, so that way you can continue to crush it in your own backyard. Until the next time, we out of here. This your boy TJ Hines at REI Geek Swag, right here in REI Geek Swag University. While we're at it, go ahead and follow me on IG for all the latest and greatest exclusive content Monday through Friday to help you score big in your wholesaling real estate business. We out of here. Peace.